A few years ago, I did a live demo for Worldwide Turners on what we affectionately refer to as the Duck's Chuck. It's Jim Duxbury's version of a DIY off-center chuck or multi-axis chuck. There's any number of things you can do with this thing. I have several. During the demo, I made this piece of ash juniper showing what you can do with it off-center, and I have decided that I want to use this as an inlay in a lid. So I need to do two things. I need to round it off again because I'm not sure it is, and I need to sand it up, and then I will take it off of here. So I got to do this really gently because this is just on there with double-sided tape. You can see it wiggling a little bit. It's not nearly as round as I would like it to be, or in round. That's because I have modified this chuck since I made it, and it no longer fits this. I had to wrap it with neoprene. And this is going to be the high side, so it'll be all right. So check this out. Okay, that's round, which is what I wanted. I angled it back a little bit. That's really pretty smooth. So I'm going to start sanding at 150. That will do. I'll apply a little mild sanding sealer. Now I'll let this dry a little bit. I have something special in mind for those. So when I'm ready to do that, I'll come back. Okay, that's dry. I would use black embellishing wax if I had any, but I don't have black. So I'm going to fill these grooves with black acrylic paint. Oh, my cap's in the way, isn't it? So I'm gonna fill these with black acrylic, and before it dries too much, I'm gonna wipe it off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that dry, and then I will sand that back off. That's why I use the Mylans. So when I'm ready to sand that up, I'll come back. Now, I should be able to sand this off with 400. We'll see. It may take 320. Almost. Now we'll do the 400. And that gives me a little black detail. When I put the final finish on it, it'll darken up. And I like that. So now, take this off and go to step 2. And when I'm all ready for that, I'll come back. Okay, I'm rounding this off. This is phase 2. I'm just rounding it off. I want to get this round and see what dimension I've got to work with. I'm close. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm making an ingrain box, but I'm going to embellish it, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to pick this up tomorrow. Okay, so I've got this chucked up now, and what I want to do is I want to flatten this face. So I'm going to come in here with my spindle gouge. That'll do for now. I need to take this down a little bit now. I have a shape in mind, so this is the shape that I'm going for. What I'll need is, I need a shoulder. I'm going to leave the shoulder long, and I'm going to come up in here a little bit. Well, apparently I've had another camera bite the dust, this one right up here, my overhead camera. It froze up on me, I noticed it stuck up on one shot where I was smoothing this out. I want to do a little more smoothing right here, rounding this over some. This corner needs to be rounder. So let me make that happen real quick. Okay, it's about time for me to part this lid off, but before I do that, I want to do some sanding. I'm going to start with 100. Flatten this face off. And it's time to hollow this little darling out. I think I'm gonna cheat because this end grain pecan is hard stuff. Now when I'm ready for the next step, I'll come back. Now I'm going to go in with my big scraper and try to clean the bottom up just a little. The problem is I'm not going to be able to sand real deep, but I've got a possible solution for that too. I've got that pretty much how I want it. This is 100 grit. And to get the bottom, go back in here with some 150. Not bad. It's not great. I mean, that ain't bad, actually. So I've done everything here that I can. What I want to do is I want to make sure that this is sloped a little bit, and it looks like it is. Now I need to turn this around and do the bottom. So when I get all set up for that, I'll come back. All right, let's see what we can do. I've got a crack there, I think what I want to do is fill that with black CA. I want to make this a little concave, and it is. I'll let that dry for a few minutes and then I'll come back and finish that off. Now I'm going into the headstock, taking small bites here because I don't want this to come out of the chuck. And I'm going as lightly as I can. Alright, now I will switch to my other skew because it's got the profile I want. Now we'll sand the bottom half of this up. I forgot to hit the record button last night during the live demonstration. I meant to, but this is what the inside of the lid looked like after I finished it. It's nice, looks good, nice and smooth. The top, the inlay looks really good as well. I'm very, very pleased with it so far. Now let's see if we can finish this thing up. You can see that the grain lines up very nicely. I'm applying some myelin sanding sealer to the inside of the box. I poured a little in and took this acid brush and made sure I got the inside all coated really nicely. And then after I finished that up, I poured any excess into the inside of the lid and finished applying the myelins to the inside there. And I'm really, really pleased with how this came out. I just really am. I used my laser engraver and engraved my logo into the bottom of the box like I usually do. And this pecan is really, really pretty. So for the finish, I decided to just keep it simple and apply some Howard feed and wax. So I'll get the Howard feed and wax all rubbed into the lid and to the body here, and I'll leave them sit for about 20 minutes. And then after that, I'll come back and I'll buff off any excess and it'll be done. Look how the Howard feed and wax makes that juniper inlay just really come alive. I really like this stuff. Here it is, all finished up. I like that Howard feed and wax sometimes. All pieces don't have to be glossy. This one could have been, but I don't think it needed it. The pecan came out really nicely. I like it. I can't hold it by the lid, but it's not exactly a French fit either. It wants to stick some. But with, there it is, but with changes in time and humidity, etc., it may. So we'll see. But I like it. I really like it. I'm very happy with this. I'll try to get this video edited and published as soon as possible. I'll probably schedule it to run Monday if I can get it done. I will be gone on another vacation next week. So another video as soon as we get back. Thanks for watching, y'all.